follow sport. If you look at the top immortal players and performers in that sport, that person's individual profile matches the profile of that sport. The people that where their profile doesn't meet the sport, they could be great for a short period of time, but they adapt their behavior so much that they often fall prey to a lot of injury, or they burn out and they can't sustain it. You look at golf and you look at Jack Nicklaus, and the profile for golf is almost exactly Jack Nicklaus's. And you might say, well, wait a minute, Tiger Woods. He's got to win 5 more. Then we'll talk about Tiger Woods. Jack Nicklaus was playing into his 60s when he retired. And he wasn't coming in last. He was not coming in last. Okay? He played his very last hole, right? His very last tournament, very last formal tournament. His hips were gone, his knees were gone, his body couldn't do what his mind wanted to do. But he said, I wanted to crank it up for one last hole. Do you guys, those of you that are golfers, remember how he scored on his last hole? I'll give you a hint. Par means he hit the required number of. A bogey or above means he got more, and a birdie or an eagle means he got less than the required hole. What do you think he did on the last hole? He birdied the last hole. And in that tournament, he didn't come in last. They weren't like, ooh, you're the old guy, we'll give you a few extra holes. He was beating, his caddy was older, his caddy was his son, and his son was older than half the players on the tour, and he beat half the players on the tour for a guy who was 64 years old in a game where you're old at 40. You know what I mean? Because it just, the guy, he was made for the game. Right? So there's performers in other fields where they're great for a period of time, but their life falls apart, or their relationships fall apart, or their their health falls apart, or their body breaks down because they're adapting their behavior in order to play the sport or do the job. So anyone could be anything, but if you're adapting your behavior, it puts a lot of stress on you in many ways. So what we like to do is we like to align.